Are you looking for some of the best neighborhoods in Virginia Beach? Well, one of these is Little Neck, and we're talking about that one right now. Hey, my name is Sansalone, and I'm a real estate agent in Hampton Roads, Virginia. And if it's your first time here, welcome. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification next to it. You'll be notified every time I do a video about Hampton Roads or about real estate. I help a lot of people from all over the world help relocate into this area, especially after doing all these videos. It seems like they've really been helping people. So if you do have more interest in moving into the area, need help relocating, please give me a call. You can email me, you can text me, you can call me. My information is right here on the screen. You can also find it in the description below. Well, today we're talking about Little Neck, which is an area just north of an area we talked about earlier, which was Kings Grant. Some people actually combine these two into more of a general area, but I wanted to identify Little Neck as a separate piece because it has a lot of different neighborhoods in it as opposed to Kings Grant, which is just further south. So, history, school districts, places to shop, how close is it to anything else in the area, neighborhoods specifically, like which neighborhoods, real estate prices, what kind of real estate there is, and of course we'll talk about restaurants as well. Some of my favorite things to do in Virginia Beach is eat, because there's so many restaurants in Virginia Beach to eat at. I'll throw some good ones out there, but then I'll show my favorite one besides the ones I already talked about at the very end of the video. I'll also bring up at least a con that I might think that could be something that you might not like if you live in Little Neck. So basically everything you can possibly imagine in Little Neck will be covered right now. So first of all, where is Little Neck? Well, if you look on the map, you'll see that it's basically a peninsula just north of Kings Grant and the Virginia Beach Boulevard area there, and just west of Hilltop. That's about a 10 to 12 minute drive to the ocean front, and then about a 10-minute drive to town center. So it's centrally located inside of Virginia Beach. Now if you want to go outside of Virginia Beach, like places like Norfolk Navy Base for instance, that's closer to a 25 to 35 minute drive. If you want to go towards downtown Norfolk, that's about a 20-ish minute drive from there. Now you're pretty close to the interstates. 264 is only several minutes away, but then as you take 264 west, you get to Interstate 64, which takes you from Norfolk down to Chesapeake. So you have pretty easy access to a lot of different places in not just Virginia Beach, but also other areas in Hampton Roads. Now some history behind Little Neck. If you've seen my Kings Grant video, I'll throw up here if you have not seen it. We talk a lot about the Native Americans that settled here and just north of here in and around the Lesner Bridge area in Great Neck Point. Now as the English came and settled here, they traveled through the Lynnhaven River. They saw a lot of these Native American settlements. Now the Chesapeake Native American tribes settled just north of here, but you also find in Little Neck, on the north side of Little Neck, that a lot of historical artifacts were found from those previous Native American settlements in that area. And as you see on my last video about Chicks Beach, that Lesner Bridge where I'm running right there, you'll see just south, you see there, that's Great Neck Point. That's where the Chesapeake Native American tribes settled, and also right in that area is called the Adam Keeling House. The Adam Keeling House is the oldest, longest standing house that has been continuously lived in from the time it was built. So it's circa 1735, almost 300 years old, the Adam Keeling House. Now in regards to real estate and neighborhoods, so the real estate here is amazing. If you love Virginia Beach, if you love being in one of the prime historical places in the entire East Coast, this spot is amazing. There are quite a few neighborhoods in here that are different than other parts, even into Kings Grant. As you go further north in Little Neck Road, as you go further north on Little Neck Road, the further away you get from Virginia Beach Boulevard, the more land there is per house, the larger the houses are, generally speaking. As you get even closer to the north side into the water, you find some really nice houses. A lot of these start in the 400s, 500s, and go way up from there, 6, 7, 8, up to $1 million plus, because this is really prime real estate, and also the lot sizes are large enough to support larger properties, especially on the water, and some real nice properties on the water. Neighborhoods like Little Neck Cove, Middle Plantation, one of my favorites, Seabreeze Farms, Little Haven, Lindale Estates, and Redwood Farms. These are all neighborhoods up in that Little Neck area just north of Kings Grant. You're starting in that 2,000 plus square feet range to the low end, but they really go up from there, 3,000, 4,000, sometimes even 5,000 and more. I mean, really big houses in some of these spots. But they're great neighborhoods. As you drive through here, you see the trees covered. This is historic land, not just in Virginia Beach, not just in Virginia, but in the United States. This is one of the first places that settlers came when they discovered the country. So when you're buying a piece of property in this area, you're buying a chunk of U.S. history. And another thing in the neighborhood is also the Little Neck Swim and Racket Club, which is right off of Little Neck Road on the right-hand side as you're going north. So another thing that makes it easy to really enjoy life in these neighborhoods like Middle Plantation, for instance, because this is right down the street. There are a couple other smaller parks as well, Middle Plantation Park and Little Neck Park, that are in the same neighborhoods too, so you have quick access to these as well. Now, school districts. Just like in Kings Grant, there are three primary schools: First Colonial High School, Lynn Haven Middle School, and Kingston Elementary School. A couple of those are located off closer to the eastern side of Virginia Beach, but because Little Neck is a peninsula, it's a little bit of a further drive into those school district areas because you're driving down and then around up to those schools. But great school districts, you're getting a lot of high demand school districts, the same as the way it is in a lot of places in Virginia Beach. And I'll drop links below, of course, in the description about these school districts in case you're looking for more information about them to see if it's a place where you might want to bring your kids to. Now, shopping. As I said, in Kings Grant and other places close to this area, your main shopping is Hilltop, which has Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, a lot of the grocery stores you're looking for, as well as some eclectic shopping too. Town Center, which is about 10 minutes away to the west, or in the Virginia Beach Boulevard area as well, you'll see a lot of places down that stretch from the east and the west side that really make it easy to get just about everything you're looking for within a short distance of time, 5 to 10 minutes. There are even two Targets pretty close by, a Walmart and Wegmans, which is one of my favorite grocery stores and shopping spots in the entire Virginia Beach area. But as you can see here too, there's a Kroger and Home Depot just south of Little Neck in the Kings Grant area. Now, with restaurants, there are a lot of ones that I've talked about already that I think if you've not tried already after watching my videos, you need to try. For instance, like The Grill is one of my favorites. But a couple others I want to mention too. For kids, this is a great option. Your Pie, which is a place where you can basically make your own pizza, kind of like a pizza bar. Secondly, a No Frill Bar and Grill, which is right off of Laskin Road in Hilltop. Great salads, real fresh tuna and fish. Another one that's been here for a long time that people love is Captain George's Seafood. And of course, all these are going to be in the description, so you can click on them and see more about the menus and what their hours are and all that kind of stuff. Now for the cons. Now, just like in Kings Grant, I'd say the con would be it's just really expensive to live in Little Neck. Again, the closer you get to the water, you're talking closer to $700,000, $800,000, $900,000 in a lot of places, and way over $1 million on the water. So if you plan on moving to Little Neck, plan on paying for it, but again, there are a lot of pros that can often outweigh that price. Now, my favorite restaurant that I've not talked about yet in the Little Neck and greater area is Nawab Indian Cuisine. I love Indian food. If you like Indian food, this is one of my favorites. I love buffets, and it's got one of the best of my favorites lunch buffets in Hampton Roads. They've got great buttered chicken. So if you love Indian food and love buffets, check out Nawab just north of Laskin Road. I'll throw the link in the description so you can get the menu, the hours, location, and all that kind of stuff. And I'll see you on the next video.